kube khona i-shelter siyasizakala kakhulu.
Being at the shelter gives me a sense of belonging.
You see, I'm old. When I'm going to stay at home, I will still mention Frida because I know that without Frida, myself, I should have never been there because whatever you are getting, Frida Shelter, you are sharing with me. And to share with me, I'm giving the kids.
Over the past 100 years, the organization has played a pivotal role in providing a safe haven for women and children in our community. My name is Cheryl Sabane and I'm the Center Operations Manager at the Frida Hartley Shelter.
Sometimes nasesikolweni ma nginenkinga ngibalekela e-shelter ngoba angisasebenzi ngibheke imali ye-grant.
Frida Hartley Shelter didn't provide just my education, they provided my emotional and psychological support.
It is important for a shelter like Frida Hartley to exist to empower women. The same way they empower me when I was on my 0 point. And also because there are cases of gender-based violence. So places like Frida Hartley Shelter is very safe for us.
Frida Hartley Shelter is based in the heart of Johannesburg, where there's an alarming number of women living below the poverty line and at risk of being homeless. These women face insurmountable barriers to accessing safe shelter, nutritious food, and opportunities for personal and professional development. This reality not only undermines them of their basic human rights, but also deprives the community of the potential contribution to the economic's growth.
My name is Sydney Alfred. I'm on the board of Frida Hartley Shelter. This organization has been in existence for the past 100 years, and our core business is changing women's lives. We stand on work provided by those who came before us, and all this work is possible because of the help that we get from our partners and sponsors.
As an organization, we have grown immensely over the years, and therefore our pillars have really stretched. We currently focus on 2 pillars, which include internal and external services. Our internal services include a transient shelter, which provides temporary accommodation between 3 to 6 months for the women, psychological support, a daycare center, educational support, skills and training development, access to health services, access to government services, and job placement.
My first encounter with the Frida Hartley Shelter had to have been a few years ago. I used to be a resident at the shelter with my mother along with my sister.
And it's funny because I wasn't aware that it was a shelter. Because at first it was like, I'd come there with Mahoto, yes, we'd meet the people there. And then Mahoto would tell you, Angie, wait till like we used to live here. And I said, oh yeah, we used to live here. But like, are you aware that's a shelter? I was like, no, we just lived here.
My mom was.
We had fun. We were eating everything. It was very nice. Like
it was like a house, like a normal
place.
house. But then
like
when we spoke to mom about it, like, okay, what is this place? She's like, oh, it's a shelter. It's like, okay, shelter. Then we go, and then I talk to my friends at school, and they're like, you lived in a shelter, and I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Because like it's a shelter.
They make it sound like it's such a bad thing, but then when you come, it's not that bad. It's not even horrible. Like that word does not exist in this place. Because we had meals every day, we had friends
to play outside.
Playing outside. We ate strawberries.
Having identified existing problems and challenges in our community, it was imperative for our organization to provide the means and resources. Our external services include skills development through our community center, educational support, food security programs such as our lunchbox projects and Giving Back Friday, period poverty, ensuring no child skips a period because they are on their period, mother and baby program, and community engagement dialogue.
Frida Shelter helped me with many things. Firstly, they are paying my children school fees. Secondly, they are feeding me, myself, they are feeding me.
Makungenzeka i-shelter kube ukuthi iyavalwa. Eish. Angeke kulimale mina ngedwa. Baningi abantu abangalimala. Kunabogogo abaningi abadla e-shelter. Kunabogogo abaningi abangenalutho. And then uthola ukuthi bancedakala e-shelter. Manje mayingavalwa, angazi kungaba kubi kakhulu.
It's a daunting task, but we refuse to be defeated. Not only do we aim to bridge the gap, but we aim to empower all the women that are within our communities.
I'm very grateful to Frida Hartley. Magaita basa chose nekundisimudzira pandaive ndarasika ndisasaziye nzira yekuti ndoenda sei. But Frida Hartley makakwanisa kundibatsira nawo ndane nzira yekubuda nayo kundichengeta uye kuchengetedza mwana wangu. Ndatenda.
Frida Hartley Shelter is anchored on building and maintaining strategic partnerships in order for us to achieve our long-term strategic goals.
It is no secret that sustaining organizations like ours is not just a one-man task, but the success relies on partnerships with individuals, government, private sectors, and other civil society organizations.
We believe we can create a society where homelessness is no longer a life sentence, but a hurdle to be overcome. We believe in a South Africa that has opportunities for all its women. As the board, would like to thank our partners and sponsors for their continued support. We'd like them not to grow tired and inspire us to continue this work for another 100 years.
Frida Hartley Shelter, a stepping stone for women.